You doubted me. I told you today was the day, and the hockey elite have arrived.
I told you this would happen. There was no doubting whatsoever. Full lines to start the show. This is exactly what I said would happen.
We're talking the hockey, Hawkey, hockey. Are we going to do this? Let's go. Where are we at with this Larkin thing? What's your concern level, and how does it play out? And I think it's a nice piece in the Free Press today, and it's kind of a hidden storyline that if it were any of the other teams, I think it'd be a way bigger deal. But once again, hockey. John, 97.1. What's up, Johnny?
Good. You know what? Great start to the show today, guys. I love you. You're the best thing going in radio in Detroit.
Oh, thank you. Very nice.
With Larkin, like, I think your screener misunderstood me because I mentioned the Mitch Marner thing and what they said last weekend. Well, Toronto has one-third of their team has 2/3 of the cap space in Toronto. So Larkin can't play in Toronto. But he did say it was fun playing with somebody that's equally as talented as me or better. And other than Bertuzzi and maybe two other players, Sider, the Red Wings don't have the talent to go with Larkin to make him a better player. And, it's a non-story because Detroit Red Wings right now, they're not in the eye of the public as a winning team or as a winning organization anymore. And he better take what he could get because if he does go to another city, no matter how many, if he gets another $2.5 million, our cost of living in the Detroit area is pretty low, and he lives pretty good in a good community. For him to live in a community like that in a bigger city, in a bigger hockey town, per se, it's going to cost him a lot more money than it does in Detroit.
Yeah,
so
but
there's
John,
a lot of things to weigh here.
John, I think the biggest thing to weigh here, it's come down to principle and pride. And you don't want to budge. And you're right, cost of living here is not that great. But neither side, I think, wants to give in. Both sides want to save face. And, yeah, I do think in the end they'll come up. They will work something out. I don't think he leaves Detroit. I really don't.
My point is I'm not panicked, and I guess I do trust Yzerman in this regard, is that if a player is – look, Larkin's a good player. But is Larkin ever going to be the best player on a Stanley Cup team? I doubt it. Now, if you just say, well, you're an idiot and don't watch enough hockey, okay, I'll live with it, but I think you agree with that opinion. Larkin's never going to be associated with being one of the 15, 20 best guys in the game. And I think you got to be real careful just flippantly throwing 8.5, 9, and I know not in this case, but like you see the funny money. Yeah. Like if another team signed Larkin for an AAV on the open market of 10 flat a year, is that a good contract? No. Listen to Kenny. Kenny walks in and goes, oh, he's on pace to score in the mid-20s this year. Wow. Well, a whole 24 like, who cares?
Yeah, but it could be a little bit of recency bias with people, too, after seeing what he did in the All-Star Weekend. Now, the caveat is everybody does well in All-Star Weekend, except for goalies.
How many people watched NHL All-Star Weekend?
Not too many people.
17?
Not too many people, but he went out there surrounded by elite players and had a really good game where you could have made an argument that he should have been the MVP.
Let's go to Fritz, 97.1. What's up, Fritz?
What's going on?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you, Mike?
Excellent. What's on your mind?
Nothing. Pretty much just what's on yours. You hit the nail right on the head. I don't think Larkin deserves any type of salary increase. Certainly don't think he's anywhere near as good as any of the top guys like McDavid or Stamkos or anyone of that nature. So if he is willing to stand as strong as he appears to be, then I say let him walk because I don't think he's that big of a difference maker to begin with.
Yeah, and again, when a guy goes public and says I won't take less than $9 million AAV, and you're like, all right, well, great.
And
but
put it this way, if we had to lose our captain, and in a perfect world, like this probably is not even possible to happen, but I would give up our captain for Bedard in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and here's the other problem. When we really look at his, and isn't it crazy to think the kid's been in the league now? This is his 8th season.
Wow.
But Fritz, just from a goal standpoint, I understand there's more to it than that. I understand the team's been bad, but just when you look at it, You have these 2 years where he had 32 goals in 18-19, and he had 31 last year. Every other year is sub 20. You know, I have a bit of a problem when 6 of the 8 are sub 20, and there's only 1 year where he was really injured. Or no, it wasn't even an injury. It was the pandemic. So, like,
I'm pretty sure we've just seen what he's had to offer, and it'd be nice to keep him around. But if he can't come to terms, then so be it. It's not that big of a loss, if you ask me.
Yeah. No, and Fritz, that's why I did the topic, because there are people that are far more invested. There are people who deeply care. Kenny watches this team every period, every night, loves them. I wanted to know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm from Ann Arbor. I would love him to stick around. I watched him at Michigan, and I've watched him as a Red Wing.
Yeah.
It's just he's not worth the hype, I would say.
No, and Fritz, I've always felt, and again, it depends who you talk to, just that there's never been a love affair here between Yzerman and Larkin. That it's one of those things that, like, I'm not saying it's contentious. I'm just saying that
it kind of feels like, and I hate, but it's like the stepfather.
Yeah, I got you $1.
Like, you're not really my kid, but I got to put up with you because you live in the house.
I mean, Kenny, when you really look at this, brother, I was just talking to Fritz about it because I know you're running around like a maniac screening the calls. But when you look at his 8 years in the league, he's got 2 years of 32 and 31. Every other year, sub 20. Yeah, am I really paying $9 million? Now, he wants 9 AAV minimum. Yeah. I'm not paying $9 million for that.
I think he's worth 8.5, maybe 9. I might be in the minority. I think he's worth, because here's the thing with second line and first line centers.
They're expensive to replace.
They're expensive, and they're very difficult to replace. Somebody's gonna pay him that money, and then some.
Oh, what did the Islanders just pay Horvat?
8.5, and Larkin's every bit as good as Horvat. So he deserves at least 8.5 in my mind.
And the Islanders traded to get him. And Horvat was headed to free agency this summer, correct?
Correct. They unwittingly set the market for these types of centers.
No, the Islanders didn't unwittingly do it. It's that Lamoriello is thankful every day he wakes up in the morning because he's 100, and the Islanders are in a high-pressure market, unlike Detroit, and you have to do things.
I think the biggest problem with Red Wings fans is they think that Dylan Larkin's going to be really easy to replace. Or at least cheap or inexpensive to replace. It's not.
But all right, let me ask you this question, because you are the hockey elite of this program. Rico and I both wondered. What if there's no toothpaste left in the tube?
What
if this is just what he is? That 3 of every 4 years, he'll be sub 20 goals. He'll have a 30-goal pop every so often. But this is just what he is.
The last couple of years, he's been near a point per game player. That's exactly fine with me.
Okay.
And that's what you pay 8.5 for. You pay also, people thinking that 8.5 is a lot, stop it. The salary cap is going up this offseason.
Oh.
8.5 is not as much.
We don't think it's a lot. It's your cute little sport where it looks like it's a lot.
I don't understand.
You got a poverty sport.
It is a poverty sport, but the salary cap's going up.
8.5. Meanwhile,
I mean, beef stew is like 8.5.
Right.
Wow.
But people are clutching their pearls.
Sadiq Bey, like Killian Hayes, is going to sign for $15 a year.
We're not talking about basketball. I thought we were talking about hockey. The first 2 segments were supposed to be about hockey. Look on the show sheet.
They passing a hat around in the Pistons locker room. We need to help out the poor people.
Throwing daggers at my sport.
I'm pretty sure Eldon Campbell still makes $8 million a year.
Dylan Larkin needs some money. Throw some his way, fellas.
Come on, man.
Help me, I'm poor.
Just trying to say it's not that much money. Clearly, you guys are doing that too.
No. Damn. What's the most expensive deal in the league? 12?
Yeah, it's up there. It's like 12.
No, I'm asking.
I'd have to look at McDavid's contract.
Yeah, I have it in front of me. Sorry, hockey elite. I have it.
Okay.
It is Connor McDavid at 12.5.
Okay. So, and again.
But you didn't have the details.
Okay. I remember every contract off the top of my head, David.
I mean,
damn it.
That's like half the taxes that Russell Wilson's paying.
Mahomes makes 12.5 every time he farts. Okay.
Kenny has left
the building. We are going to get to your phone call. Everybody sit tight. We're going to do the hockey. I do not love his passion, but his sensitivity about his sport is something.
Guys, what are we doing here?
You promised it would be all about the hockey.
It would be fun and hockey and ice and skating.